Hmm, you know, it's been about 24 hours since I have watched this film and I'm not able to get it out of my head. Hi guys, this is Farhad and welcome back to my channel Popcorn Reviews. If you're new to this channel, then please smash that subscribe button now. And as a video ritual, remember to like and comment on the video. Liking and commenting helps fuel the YouTube algorithm. Firstly, if you're wondering where I was for the past 1 week, 1.5 weeks, well, I was covering the Tribeca Film Festival, and all the latest reviews from Tribeca Film Festival are available on my site, Popcorn Reviews with a double S, link of which is in the description box below. That's why you need to also follow me on my social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, wherever you want to, Letterboxd, Nokia as well. Coming back to this film, the Malayalam film that we are going to be talking about, it's almost like a comeback, after a week. And after a week of a lot of good films, the streak has continued with this Malayalam film called Ronth, which is directed by Shahi Kabir. It stars Roshan Mathews and Dileesh Pothan. I've still not been able to recover from the film. Oh man, I mean, it's kind of, phenomenal how, the Malayalam film industry has the ability of dishing out a cop thriller that stays with you, and it's been almost 24 hours now. It's fabulous. So, just to get things started, one thing that I want to talk about straight away is the cold open in any Shahi Kabir film, whether he's written it or directed it or both. For example, in Officer on Duty, you saw a man hanging, in the middle of a night, hanging from a rope in the middle of a night, almost in the form of a suicide. The cold open here is something very different, but something that hooks you instantly in the drama. It follows a cop character, who's been accused of some crime, and almost with an allegation that this is the first time that a crime has happened in his 22-year career as a cop, something on those lines. But the shocking detail that comes is immediately after that, when the camera pans to the visual of a car, taking a turn, while the camera, slowly focuses on a pool of blood, that is being manually cleaned on the road. That for me was an impeccable style of actually hooking you onto the screenplay without having any context of what the drama is, what the crime is, who the character is, nothing of that sort, and that is something that makes things very special. Now, one thing, as a highlight, this isn't a film from the cop universe, or something that you would associate with a Rohit Shetty film. That has an audience of its own, that is entertaining to an extent, without, having to, ground any realities that are there in the film. Here, though, the drama is extremely grounded. You won't find flying gypsies or Scorpios, in this film. You won't see cop characters who are superheroes. You will in fact see them very vulnerable individuals, and they are somebody who are very close to reality, sucked into the ground, and also while highlighting the plight of the characters. And in a way, Ronth also remains a character study. You can view Ronth as a character study, you can view Ronth as a buddy cop thriller as well. And both of them are right, both of them coexist in a way, but the way I look at Ronth is a Shakespearean tragedy. Now, if you have to talk about the story and screenplay, one thing that immediately stands out, apart from the detailing, by the way, and the detailing comes from a very personal space in the life of Shahi Kabir, who was once also a police officer, and he's now a filmmaker, prolific filmmaker, as we all know. But one thing, other than the detailing, that we get to know is the characterization, characterization of two cops, one is played by Roshan Mathew, who is in impeccable form, after, Kan Khajura, the Hindi web series that he was a part of, phenomenal web series. If you need to watch it, do watch that, it's on Sony Live. and the other is Dileesh Pothan. Amazing actor, amazing performance, which I'll get to in a moment. But in a way, these two characters are contrasting characters in many ways. When you are introduced to the character of Dinnath, which is played by Roshan Mathew, you see him as very earnest and sincere, somebody who wants to make an impact, wants to make a contribution, very naive also, doesn't know how the police department works. On the other hand, you have the character of Yohanan, and Yohanan, who's played by Dileesh Pothan, you see all his experience that is there in play. You see him calculative. You instantly aren't, attracted to him. You see a certain sense of repulsiveness that you feel with the character to begin with. And he understands the police department in the 22 years of the service that he's contributed to, and that is a contrasting style. His frames also, frame of the characters, how the way they look also is a huge contributing factor. You see Dinnath, who's very slim and fit, and you see Yohanan, who has a pot belly. He has, a certain kind of a physique, which you would associate with an aging kind of a cop character in real life too. So there is explicit detailing with the characterization also when you get to that. Now, one thing that is interesting here, that is with respect to the events that are there around, along with the setting. Now, the setting here remains that of Christmas, and Christmas is often we call it a holiday season, and there is fun and frolic on the streets. But here, the atmosphere and the tone of the drama is ominous. It's almost like a tragedy that is unfolding, because you see these two cops on night duty that are tagged to it, and pretty much the entire film is unfolding over that single night that happens, and that it's again a wonderfully you can say cohesive kind of a drama, because it's not easy to keep the drama in real time. In real time, when I say in a single day or a single night kind of a setting, when the drama is being viewed from the gaze of these two cop characters, you see that even Christmas isn't Christmas. It's not a holiday season. It's not something that you would enjoy. They are on night duty. They have to, constantly attend the walkie-talkies that are there. Also, when you're familiarized with these two characters and their personal lives and the personal traumas that each of the two are, taking place, you see that they are in the background. The personal equation of the cops is in the background, and it's almost like a dynamic that they share. There's a friction that they share based on their contrasting working styles, and that takes prime focus. The issues which they have in their personal lives in the background, as I said, and that itself tells you about the plight of the police officers, while also telling you a little bit of the hierarchy that is there, hierarchy between these two cop characters, one who plays the driver and the other who's, the SI, the sub-inspector. And I think this is a very clever kind of a characterization, because they are spaced across some varied events, In a scene, you see the character of Dinnath almost getting into a brawl with a normal police inquiry that takes place at some place's house, which he immediately is stopped by Yohanan, saying that they can actually file a charge against you, and both of our jobs will be under threat. And that tells you about the contrasting working styles of these two cop characters as well. But you also see them, there's a certain kind of friction that is there. You also see in another scene that the character of Yohanan is okay with taking bribes from a priest, sensing that he's also consumed alcohol, that same money that somebody had given to him for the car damages that the priest was facing, and the reason that you get from Yohanan is something you understand where he's coming from. He says that this money can be used for the jeep maintenance, something that is very hard to extract from the department. All of these collectively give you an idea about the plight of the cops. But when I say this is a buddy cop thriller kind of a film, I'm not wrong when I say that, because you see them bonding. There's a personal connect. Dinnath has a connect, as a soft corner, you can say, about psychiatric patients, and Yohanan has a soft corner for children. And so in an incident, when you see both of them, joining forces together, that is, I think, a sequence that defines their relationship, defines their trust that they have of working together and fending off each other, looking out for each other. It's a critical plot point of looking out for each other in the context of the character arc of these two characters, and that is the thing that you need to note. I'm not going to give any spoilers, but that is something that it also is an interesting kind of a facet. You see them bonding also when you see Johanan pushing Dinnath into stopping a supposed robbery, which is not a robbery, it's something else, and they have a good laugh about it until then both of them open up about the vulnerabilities of individual characters. In a scene also you see Johanan opting to drive Dinnath and his family comprising of his ailing daughter to the hospital, saying that when will the police vehicles actually be of any use. And I think that tells you a lot about their bond, of the relationship and the cordial relationship, the affectionate relationship that they've built over that period of one night. It starts with friction, but then the bond keeps getting closer. But now this is the but. If you have followed Shahi Kabir's filmography, be it Nayattu, be it Ilavida, Punchira, any of it, you know that the underlying tone of the drama is a tragedy. And here the drama takes the form of a Shakespearean tragedy that eventually transpires. I will not tell you what the tragedy is, but it highlights the discrepancies in the department. It highlights the politics in play. All of that, comes together in that seemingly shocking finale that is dark, disturbing, and absolutely haunting. And these three words I put on the thumbnail as well. There's a reason why I put these words in. It's absolutely shocking, and that is something then that stays with you, after the film has ended. And that is, why I'm not able to shake off that experience 24 hours after even watching the film. And the screenplay is quite something. It's one of the best screenplays that I've watched from the Malayalam film industry this year. Coming to the technical aspects, the dialogues, the music, and the direction, I think the dialogues are very conversational, but they have an underlying tone of a tragedy that is in play. And I think that is a very important quality in the context of how the drama is unfolding. Even the BGM, it takes you on a ride. There are different shades of the drama, ranging from a gritty drama to almost like a jump scare kind of a horror passage of play, or even moments of comedy. I would say nothing disruptive, but hints of comedy, and all of them are nicely designed in the form of BGM, or should I say sound design, that also is immaculate as far as the detailing is concerned. The cinematography is absolutely spot on. Wonderful cinematography, that keeps you connected with the characters and also maintains an ambience of a tragedy. The mood is somber. The framings, even though it's Christmas time, as I said in the film, you don't see the fun and frolic because you are viewing the drama through the gaze of these two characters. In a scene also, when a character is falsely framed for something, you see the image of Mahatma Gandhi in that same frame. So I think that's again a very interesting anecdote that the framing actually takes you on. The editing also is very, very crisp. There was not a dull moment ever. Director Shahi Kabir, I think he understands the world of cops so wonderfully, and I think he does such a smashing job with the detailing that is there. The smaller walkie-talkie detailing, or the code words with which they interact with each other, pass on the messages to each other. It's, I think, amazing with the detailing. And to top it, he actually infuses this drama with a character study in a Shakespearean tragedy, so to say. And I think that is something that is such a wonderful piece of direction. I think Shahi Kabir is a gem of a director, gem of a filmmaker, gem of a writer, as far as the impact that he has, as far as the impact that he has on the proceedings are concerned. Coming to the performances very quickly, I think the performances are pretty good. There are a few characters that stand out, like Arun, like Naveen. There's also the two characters of the wives, Lakshmi and Kripa. Both of them do a wonderful job. All of them are stunning, but the film essentially belongs to these two characters of Dinnath, played by Roshan Mathew, and Johanan, played by Dileesh Pothan. They are such wonderful performances. both of them complement each other, and in a way you realize that they are the same person at different points in their lives or different points in the experiences that they've had with the police force. For instance, Dinnath would be the exact same person as Johanan is right now, while giving advice to another Dinnath in the process, if you know what I mean, at a later point in his life. And I think that makes that the two characters almost symbolism or contrasting symbolisms of each other, almost like alter egos, you can say, of each other. In a way, you also see Johanan having a feeling that he could see himself as Dinnath at some point, that he was, very naive and wanting to prove himself. The contrasting characters are beautifully, brilliantly played by the two characters. I think Dileesh Pothan, delivers one of the finest performances of his career yet, I would say, because you never know with a good actor on how good you can push the boundaries the next time. So I say the word yet. Roshan Mathew is in red hot form. Oh my god. As I said, Kaan Khajura is the Hindi web series which had its flaws, but I think the performances elevated the drama, and it stars Roshan Mathew in the lead, by the way. So you must watch that as well. Overall, I felt that Ronth is a deeply disturbing, deeply haunting, and deeply dark kind of a police drama, you can say, or a buddy cop thriller, you can say, that has undertones of a Shakespearean tragedy. And it's hard to shake that feeling off, and films like these are rare, when you are actually also highlighting the red tape criticism in the film that once upon a time Singham used to do in the mass space, I would say. The latest Singham films are absolutely trash, but the earlier one, the first one, I would say specifically, was pretty good even in the commercial space, which actually had that red tape criticism underlying it in the narrative and not playing a superhero, mind you. Similarly, here the characters, as I said, are very grounded, and it's far closer to reality than anything that I've watched as far as a police drama is concerned or a police thriller is concerned. Ronth, highly recommended from my end. If you watch the film, let me know your thoughts. It's running in a theater, by the way, near you. Let me know your thoughts on what your theater going experience was. Did you like it? Did you not like it? What are the thoughts that came to your mind while watching the film? Remember to like/dislike the button /dislike the video. Liking, disliking, commenting, any sort of engagement fuels the YouTube algorithm. You must need to help a small creator like me. Share this video also with your friends and family. Ask them to subscribe to the channel. Let's grow this Digi family together. My detailed review of Ronth is present on my site, Popcorn Reviews with the double S, the link of which is in the description box below. As I said, you can also follow me on different social media platforms like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Letterboxd. I do not end up making a video on everything that I watch, but I have covered the Tribeca Film Festival, 13 films from across the globe, and I've ranked them too. All details you'll find on my site. Remember to visit my site as well. Even when I'm not regular with the videos, my site is always functional. I'll see you again soon with another video. Till then, take care of yourselves, and if there are any recommendations, feel free to drop me them. I'll eventually get to them, hopefully when I get some time. It's been a little busy kind of a passage in my life, but hanging in there and making these lovely videos for you. So if you're liking, you know what to do. I'll see you again soon. Till then, take care of yourselves, and thank you so much for your love and support. Cheers.